Bam.
All right. Hey there, sports fans. Welcome back. This is Dinner with the Captain. I'm John Dinner, and I'm here with Captain Steve Priolo, the captain of the National Lacrosse League Buffalo Bandits. And this is 23 minutes on lacrosse, leadership, and life, give or take a few minutes. How you doing, Cap?
Cheers.
Cheers. All right. Well, if you've been following along, and hopefully you have, we're back to some regularly scheduled programming. We had an extended episode with Christmas with the captain, and we got to share some stories outside of sort of the regular run-of-the-mill NLL talk and lacrosse talk that we get into. But we're back, and we're back to previewing the game that I think Bandit Land has been waiting for all summer and into the fall. Here it is. It's the home opener. Bandit Land. What else? What can you say about Bandit Land? What's it like going in there on that home opener? I know it's banner raising night, but it's always an event in Buffalo.
Yeah, it's always an event, and banner raising night was is sort of that special little thing that we get to, throw it back at our fans and give them a little appreciation. We have fan appreciation night and different things like that, but there's nothing better than being able to raise that banner and tickets have been sold out forever, and that's like a special event. And, Buffalo's hungry for championships. They have such a good fan base for all their sports there, and it's the little thing that we can do to sort of help get through the winters.
Well, and so it is going to be a big, exciting night. We've talked about it in some previous episodes that it's on one side for the players, it's we got to get through it so that we can kind of get to the other side and start getting back to doing what we do and chasing the three-peat and stuff. But I think today's episode, as much as we're preparing for who are we playing?
Rochester.
Yeah, as much as we're preparing for Roch, this is really about Bandit Land, and that's what I'm interested in hearing from you. Is that, and because as much as success over the last number of years obviously brings fans to the game, throughout your entire career, Bandit Land's been pretty special, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, well, they stick with you through the thick and thin, right? And that's what it's been. We've had a lot of hard years, and last year, I know we've collectively through other leagues and stuff, I've won some championships, but I've only had one banner raising, right? And that was last year. And it was so special, man. Like the watching it go up, and you're linked arms with your brothers, and you're just super emotional. But you also need to sort of enjoy that moment and then put it in check and deal with the game. And that's the hardest part, because you want to sort of enjoy that and roll with it. Weiss says it the best. Weiss always says, when we look up there, that's something that we did, and that'll forever be up there, right? So, that hits home with me, and I'm sure with a lot of people, and a little reminder that you did something. But Bandit Land, again, they stuck when they clapped after we lost in 2022. Like when we lost to Colorado, and we get a standing ovation for just the season and our effort level. It's deeper than just winning lacrosse games. We are there to offer a release from everybody's life, right? It's an opportunity to escape reality and enjoy something and entertain. At the end of the day, we're trying to show people that we're trying our best to do something that's very hard to achieve, and people can appreciate that, and people can hopefully be entertained by that. And in Buffalo, they've done such a good job of supporting us, and there's a lot of good teams out there that get supported from their fans, and I hope that crowds around the league start growing, and because it's the best.
It really is, and I think that's what's really great about the sport of lacrosse. And when you talk about them appreciating your effort, lacrosse is so revealing when it comes to that kind of thing. There's no gliding like there is in hockey, right? It's full out all the time, right? There's no play. You can't hide anywhere, right?
Did you ever see Paul Bissonnette try out for Vancouver Warriors?
No.
Did you ever see that clip, man? He's so funny because he's out there running around, and he's like, that's exactly what he says. There's no gliding out here. You have to it's the same size as a hockey arena, but you have to run the entire distance. There's no power gliding or pushing off or anything like that. And it was nice seeing that sort of, he's a big figure, and to see him sort of appreciate the athleticism of the boys. And it's
nice. Unreal. And I think that's what brings the fans back, right? Is because there's a visceral reaction by the fans when they can see how hard you guys are working, right? And so 2022 disappointment, but the fans stick by you, and I think that, as you said, that's sort of been the theme of Bandit Land. But looking back on your career, did you know about Bandit Land as you're coming out of junior and landing in Buffalo about like what that meant?
Yeah, because they won in 2008, right? And that's sort of when you're playing junior and you're watching, you're looking up to sort of see if you're going to get drafted anywhere. Where would it would be? I don't know if I can't remember if I was playing in 2008 or if it was 2000. I think my first year was 2009 of junior, but you still know that they won the year before, right? And you know they're good. I think they lost 2009 to like Calgary, out in Calgary, if I'm not mistaken, but I don't remember exactly. But yeah, I don't know. I don't remember your question, but it was like, it's nice.
Yeah. And so, I mean, can you remember then like that moment that like, this is Bandit Land, like something that would maybe going to set it apart? Like maybe it's rather in your rookie year or some other in the next couple where.
Dude, I remember being in the stands during, I think it was 2008. I remember being in the stands and I was there for that Billy D. I think he fought like one of the Morgan brothers and was throwing him around and that fight became sort of iconic. The Morgans they're all like 6'10", 6'7", 6'8", 6'9", 6'10". Like they're huge. And Billy threw him and that clip's on YouTube. That's a great one to watch. I think Brandon Francis fought that game too, and the place was electric. And then, to watch them go on win, it was I don't know. I feel like that season sort of set us up for the next 10 years, right? Like that's what everybody expects when they go to a Bandit game. They expect to be entertained beyond their belief, and hopefully that's what we're delivering every time.
Well, I mean, wins after wins after wins over at least the last 4 or 5 seasons.
Yeah.
When you take COVID out of it, obviously. But so, like, Bandit Land travels well too. Like, I mean,
oh, dude, yeah. When you go to Rochester, like it's half them,
but or even down to Vegas. And
man, there's this guy Brian. He wears a big cowboy hat, and you can hear him, and he's just got this deep booming voice, and he's at every game, man. Literally every game. He's like, I'm stoked for San Diego. I'm stoked to go to Vancouver. I'm stoked to go to Vegas. Like, he comes to every game. It's just, we have like a crew now that is that's what they spend their money on. That's what they spend their vacations on, is coming to the games. And how can you not appreciate every ounce of that?
And so what does that mean to the boys in the locker room? Like, knowing this, right? Like, it's not some nameless, faceless group. It's like, we know these guys and we know they're spending their hard-earned money to watch us and support us and be entertained by us. Like, what does that do to the dressing room? What does it do when you're bringing somebody into the culture of?
It helps. It helps for sure. I'm not going to say it's everything, because we do have a big culture, but every little thing that people do helps, right? It goes along with doing video or working out or doing all those different things. And, having fans travel is another thing that we can add on to that pile of sticks that is us, starting a fire. How about that analogy? I like that.
Yeah, look at
right?
that.
Every little time you're adding more sticks and more sticks and more sticks, and you're going to create this tinder bundle to start a fire, and that is a nice important part, right? Is having that support. It's if you travel and there's no one there, it's like that's a less kindling on the fire, and it makes it harder to get that fire going. So, yeah, it's
well, the fire is burning bright in Bandit Land these days, and so. We're coming in. It's home opener. You had 2 games in the 4 weeks, couple of byes, and so hopefully, when we arrive Saturday, everybody's healthy and ready to rock and roll after the Christmas break and a practice on Friday. What is the chatter in the dressing room for a home opener with the Bandits?
I don't know. It's everybody just trying to get free lacrosse sticks. No, just all over Teddy, our equipment guy, just trying to get free stuff. No, but it is like as much as I'm joking about that, it's a matter of getting settled, right? It's different. It's your home. It's your.
Yeah, you guys are a month into the season, and you've only played 2 games, and you haven't played at home yet.
I think we've only been to the Key Bank Center once.
Yeah.
And all the equipment and stuff hasn't been in, right? So it's been having to be shipped to us and everything. But a lot of stuff gets shipped to the arenas, right? So it's actually a chance to get set up for the rest of the season. There's a lot of different moving parts. Yeah, so Teddy's probably going to be a little overwhelmed on. Well, we have practice on Friday. We have practice the day before, so that's going to be a good chance for guys to get their heads and sticks and equipment, and we've got our bags and stuff. But I don't know, but it's another little thing, right? It's another little distraction that you have to sort of get past. But it's also nice. Like, Maybe I'm for sure biased, but I feel like we get treated the best at home, and we treat other teams maybe the best that they get treated on the road. We tie into all the Sabre stuff, so we have coffee machines and all this food and all this stuff constantly coming through, and having just literally an unlimited coffee supply and snacks and food and shakes and all that stuff.
And open to both squads, like.
Well, we supply them with what we have.
Yep.
Teddy will brew a huge thing of coffee and bring it down to them, bring them cups, bring them snacks, bring them whatever they need. And he takes notes though. He takes notes of how we get treated on the road, and he sort of like, he just matches whatever other teams do for us. We get treated pretty good everywhere because Teddy treats everybody really well, and it's this sort of do for system, right? I do for you, you do for me, and not having to worry about that sort of stuff, right? Not having to worry about like, oh, I need to get a coffee before the game. It's like, you don't have to worry about it. There's coffee at the arena. There's whatever you need is going to be at the arena. Oh, I forgot a shin pad or a shoe, not shin pad, an elbow pad or a shoe, or I need my cage fixed, or I need any of this stuff. It's like, oh, we have extra, right? And there's a lot less worry too, in a sense, right? If you're driving down to Albany, you're sitting there going, man, did I pack my shoes? Like, did I grab my other glove? You know what I mean? And they're not going to have another glove for you. So
it's not home.
It's not home.
How long has Teddy been at it for?
Oh, 2008 or 7, or maybe. I think he's like 2 penalty minutes away from getting 100 penalty minutes too. The equipment guy, the door guy. He's, every once in a while, every time he sends a guy on early or whatever, it's bench minor. And
everyone gives Teddy some troubles.
Yeah, I think he's keeping track of his penalty minutes over the years, and it's getting pretty high up there.
Yeah. So I mean, top to bottom, right? The organization is pretty dialed in these last few years, and it creates a winning culture. Mm-hmm. But you sit atop that winning culture as the captain, right? Like, of course you got JT and you got the general manager, and obviously you got the Bagulas and everybody else. But when it comes down to it, you're the voice and the face of the players. Mm-hmm. How does that rest with you and your relationship with Banditland?
I don't know. I try to always have time for people. I think that's the biggest thing. Even if you're tired, or even if you're whatever, it's like, if I'm not going to do it, then why do I expect anybody else to do it, right? And everybody that waits outside of the parking garage, get out of your car and go sign some autographs for them, and go, that person's went and bought your jersey, and they've waited now in the cold and the snow for you. It's the least we can do is get out of our car and go sign that, take a picture, but that's across the league too. Like, I've never met, well, there are people, but
of course,
mostly everybody has time for the fans. And I think that's a really good thing, because we're very blue collar in lacrosse, right? Like we said before, we all have second jobs. We all, work 9 to 5, and
no one's retiring and sailing off into the sunshine.
No,
right?
exactly, right? So like, the people that are coming to watch us, are us, and we are them. We just happen to play lacrosse and do this extra thing on the side. So it's like, not on the side for a lot of us. It's our main thing, but it's we are them and they are us, and it's really cool to see them out when we go out.
And for the last 2 seasons, you've also seen them now well almost into June with a couple parades and those kinds of things. Like, what is that like for a player? And I won't make you distinguish between the two or anything like that, but you're up on the stage and you got the championship and maybe a few beverages in you, but just the excitement of looking out over that sea of Banditland. Like, can you describe that feeling?
That feeling is, you can't really describe it. It's a lot of nerves, to be honest. I know you're a little bit boiled at that point, but you're and you're just excited, but you're also like, don't know what to say. It's hard. You're not like in that situation a lot. It's not like you practice speaking in front of that many people all the time, right? And you're a little bit nervous. I'm more comfortable on the walk in. We get off of the fire hydrant or the fire trucks, and we sort of walk down, and you're smoking a cigar, you got sunglasses on, your hat's backwards, you're carrying the trophy, and you're walking through like 1,000 Bandit fans. It's like, that's where I'm comfortable. Saying hi, taking pictures, signing stuff, that's the nice part. Once you get up on stage, it's nice, but it's like I don't know. It's public speaking. It's a little like nerve wracking. You're like, oh man, I hope Sweeney doesn't come over here and call on me to say some bright words of encouragement.
But you're going to be one of the guys that's going to be asked to say something.
Oh, for sure. And you just hope you don't swear too much or you don't say anything dumb. Like, but there's guys that it comes natural to. Like when you watch Weiser, man, he's got this hooting and hollering, and he just controls the crowd. And Dan controls the crowd. Did I just say Dan?
You
oh
did.
Boy,
that's okay.
Paulie Dawson control. Yeah. He's really good at working the crowd.
That's extra push-ups for you at practice, isn't it?
Oh, for sure.
With Paulie sitting on you.
That's on the chance that anybody listens to
it. That's right. It's just me and you.
Well, yeah, it's nerve-wracking, man. It's crazy being up there. You're looking out. You're trying to find your family. You can't see anybody, and there's it's really cool though. It is. It's nice.
And so then fans know, right? Like you guys have a say in the rings that are coming out, and you kind of have a say in like how things.
Our rings are in. They're going to be coming. We get them on the 27th.
You get them on the 27th.
27th.
So is the ring ceremony part of the 28th?
Yes and no. We kind of already had a ring ceremony. We kept it sort of like hush hush, and you want to get that sort of out of the way before the season shows up, right? So they expedited a couple of rings so we could see what they look like, but our rings weren't in yet.
Right.
So now when we get the rings, it'll be special, but it'll be much smaller because we're already going to be 3 games into the season, right? Yeah. So it kind of sucks that it had to happen that way because you'd rather have them the day after you win, right? And it's like, but that's not the reality of building them, but they're really cool. I can't wait to start sharing it all on social media and let hear what people have to say about them. There's a couple special little features.
Well, because certainly the first time round, lots of thought. I was with you as you were trying to make some decisions on things, and think you guys landed pretty nicely. And
yeah, it's
then
cool.
They went and changed the trophy on you.
Oh yeah, no, oh my gosh, I think the Bandits, obviously right now, we're the only team to have won all 3 trophies. Right in 2008, they won. Not myself personally, but the Bandits won the big wooden one.
Yep.
And then we won the sharp pointy one, and now we've won the
luge.
We won the luge, and now we won the
cup.
The cup. We'll call it the cup instead of the big mace.
But pretty special stuff. And so I know you had a busy summer with other things, but we're talking Bandits and Bandit Land. At what point does the conversation, because it's been at the tip of the mouths of all of Bandit Land, three-peat? When do you guys talk about it, or when do you put it to rest and be like, no more talking about it?
We've never talked about it.
Yeah.
No. Is
that just because Pat Riley's got it copyrighted and you guys are worried about getting sued, or is there like a superstition around that?
Oh, there's for sure a superstition. Like you don't know what other guys' superstitions are, right? So you don't say it. You don't want to be like, hey, we're here for, everybody knows that you're there to win.
Yep.
Guys aren't coming back to lose. Like we know Vino's there to win. We know Bucky's there to win. We know Paul.
Yeah, no.
Dan is there to win.
No, you got it right the first time. It's Paul.
Paul. What did I say, Dan?
You said Paul, then you said Dan, and then
I'm fucking drunk.
Yes.
But it's yeah, man. It's these guys aren't coming back to lose. Like we're here to win, and that we know that, and that's in the air. But you also don't want to say you don't want to look forward, right? It's hard to see the chicken before the egg, or whatever the hell the saying is, and you don't want to count your chickens before they're hatching, or wherever the chickens are.
Yeah.
So
chasing chickens.
You don't want to chase chickens. Count your money before your poker hand ends up. Right. But so that's the thing, is you just sort of squash that, and you just bury it, and you just say what do I need to do at this practice to make sure we're dialed for the next game. And that's just it has to be the mindset. It's just what it is.
And so, does it then, how do you, guys like me that are then constantly kind of bugging you about the idea of three-peat, and fans are talking three-peat, and I've already thrown out the idea that when they put up that second banner, we count out 1, 2, and we want more.
Yeah, that's great for the fans. I hope the fans keep doing it. Also, I just want to clarify that we're recording this on the bye week, and this isn't when it's going to be released the day before our game.
The captain is not drunk the day before.
Yeah. This is the bye week. This is the week off, so it's that's why we're having a couple Christmas beverages. So Yeah, but it's the fans, man. Lean into it, enjoy it, have fun with it. Just in the locker room, we're just gonna focus on the task at hand because you have to. You can't let that stuff. Those are unwarranted thoughts. Those are thoughts that you don't need to think about. You don't need to think about your taxes. You don't need to think about your girlfriend or your wife. You don't need to think about your dog. You don't need to think about three-peat. You don't need to think about any of that stuff. You need to think about the guys in the room, and you need to think about what you're going to do to collectively get better that day and how to win the game. And that's just the reality of sports.
Is there something that you do like in your routine that allows you to then like sort of shut that off? Like, okay, turn the noise down and now I'm here. Is it as simple as just getting out of the car and I'm going to the rink? Or are you doing something in the car on the way to practice or game day? Or is it just once you're kind of around the boys, it just the switch clicks over?
Yeah, it's you can't have, at least for me, I can't have too many superstitions or things lined up because the moment one of them starts going wrong, you start getting in your own head. Mm-hmm. Honestly, a big thing I do before games is I go spend time in the trainer's room, in the athletic room. It does a couple things for me. I like seeing who kind of comes in and out of there. That's a big thing for me, is to see who's sort of like banged up and who's not. And but mostly it's always lighter in there. It's always, they keep it a little bit lighter. You know, you're cracking jokes. You're talking about things that aren't lacrosse, right? You're talking about mobility stuff, or you're talking about physio, or you're talking about whatever, and all those different things going on. And that's like super important to me, is to not overthink the game, because I'm thinking about it constantly. I'm always, when I take a nap on game day, I'm sitting there. I have such a hard time napping because I'm just thinking about, okay, push him down the wall. When he gets out, when he peels out, switch your feet, get underneath. Okay, what happens when he carries up? Am I going to have to cover him going up? What happens if there's a high vacate? And all this shit going on in your head about how you're going to move out there on the floor. It's important for me to like take some time almost away from that.
Chatter off.
Turn it off. Yeah. So because we're there like 2.5 hours before the game, like everybody's getting warmed up and stretching and doing their stuff. And a lot of times I have my coffee and I'll sit in that trainer room and talk to our deep tissue guy, Matt Meyer, or Ryan Rajek, our athletic therapist, and just talking about, how is hunting season? How is whatever? He makes wine. Like, how is the winemaking business going? Or not business, but, that sort of stuff, man. I'm interested. And I'm also interested in the people around the team. Like, there's so many people that make our team happen, right? It doesn't just, you don't just show up at the arena and you're not just there to play your game and move on. There's people that it's their job to make sure that all of this stuff happens. So it's always important to like spend time with those guys and even just, hey, how's it going? How's your day? How's your week? What's going on? What can I do for you? You know what I mean? They're always doing stuff for us. What can I do for you today?
And I think that's what's neat about winning a championship, right? Because it does bring a moment where you now get to celebrate as a organization, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, every organization wants to win, and only one does every year. And you guys have done it now 2 times in a row. And so I feel like it brings people in. It's that family atmosphere, right? We're all on the same team and we're all doing, and we can see the value in what I do to help the players perform, because there's that, again, sort of that visceral like moment of, yeah, we did it, top of the mountain.
Yeah.
But now here we go again.
Yeah,
right?
exactly. So, and on banner raising night, we're going to have to, I know, because I'm going to show up early and we're going to have like 600 things to sign that are like 2024 champs or back-to-back champs and all these different things. You have to like, you get a whole table full of stuff that it's like, hey, all day, you have all day to do this, but I need all of this stuff signed because it's being given away or raffled off or whatever, and you need to sign all of this stuff. So it's like you have to work in that time as well, right? Like we have tables of stuff that are set up in the hallway that every time basically every home game, you're signing a table full of things. It's maybe anywhere between, 50 to like 300 signatures. On Tucker Lymphoma Night, it's like, I don't know, 1,000 signatures. Like you're signing all of these balls, all of these jerseys, all these different pictures and things like that. And I'm more than happy to do it. It takes actual time to do it, right?
It's not just magic.
Yeah, and I want to do a good job with my signature. I know some of the guys don't, but I really want to make it as consistent and as legible as I can, because that might be the only signature of mine that somebody gets, right? And I don't want to have it be half-assed. I want it to be as good. And you mess up and you try your best, but it's you have to take time with each one. So that's what it is.
And so, yeah, it's going to be 18,000 plus Saturday night. Playing the rivals Rochester. You've already beaten them once this season. I mean, you guys are only 2-0, so we don't want to get too ahead of ourselves. How do you rein in that emotion after it's all said and done? The banner's up there. You guys have got your arms around you. There might even be some tears because there's been some moments. You're looking at each other and you're like, hey, you came back to try to let's do this again, but we're not allowed to talk about why you came back. All of those things. And then you also got guys that are new to the team that weren't there last year.
Yeah.
And not many, but enough that it's like, so how do you then recreate and start like, okay, that's behind us. Now let's go forward.
For me, I need to get hit or hit somebody.
Yeah.
I talk about that a lot with our group is like, there's no better way to get yourself focused on a game than to get like either hit or hit somebody. Cause that physical engagement is now just going to snap you out of any sort of like mindset that you're in. I know with me, like I love getting like, not necessarily blindsided, but like boom, a big hit. I like being hit because it's like now I've created this not personal thing, but it's like now I'm engaged. Now we're going. Like for me, I need to be engaged. I need to be going. If I'm not touching anybody out there, I feel like I'm not sort of engaged in the game. And yeah, so in the first shift, it's important for me to like either get hit or hit somebody and get
So is there something Banditland can do to remind you, like just keep the roar going in that first shift?
yeah, just keep the cheers up. It's and especially when our offense, man, when they get through the middle and they get hit and they're getting whacked and stuff, like there's nothing that's gonna piss you off more than getting like whacked in the arm on the way through, and you're like, man, I don't even have the ball, and you're whacking me right now. It's like, give me this fucking ball, let me go to work. Like that's like the mentality that our team has, and that's sort of the mentality I have on defense too, right? Where it's like, yeah, you want to try to like blindside hit me, and you want to try to, quote unquote moving pick,
Yeah.
They don't call it a ton,
right in the back, right?
Yeah, just find a greasy back pick, and it's like, all right, here we go, we're in one now.
Well, I think Rochester knows they're going to be in one right from the get-go because of the emotion in the night, and having already lost to you guys once. They're going to be bringing their A game, so it's going to be an outstanding game. Unfortunately, if you don't have your tickets, you probably won't be able to get in the building, but you can catch it. It's going to be Game of the Week. You can catch it on TSN Plus, ESPN
It's
Plus.
Game of the Week again?
I believe so, yes.
Oh, nice.
On ESPN.
Oh,
and
sweet.
if it's not, NLL Plus too, right? Like there's lots of opportunities to get their eyes onto this beautiful game and to watch what's going to be a real special night for the people in Banditland. Thanks to you, Steve, and thanks to the team for doing what they've been doing the last couple of years. It's keeping people really interested and engaged. And as we head into it, any last words of wisdom or advice for those in Banditland that are going to keep cheering you guys on? Right,
cheer loud, enjoy it, enjoy the moment, because we're really enjoying it, and I'm just looking forward to Saturday, man. I want to get back home, I think we're at home like a ton of games in a row. I don't know our schedule or whatever, but it's like,
oh, you're making me do my work.
Yeah, I think we're like 4 of the next 5 games are at home or something like that. So I'm really excited for these tough, I call them the tough months, man. Like January, February, it's cold, it's snowing everywhere. Get me home, get me there. Yeah,
so you got, I don't know if it's another bye week.
I think we have a bye week on Jan 4th too.
Yeah, so you got
insane,
Roch,
man.
You got Roch, then you got the Rock, and they might be back at it, and then you got Philly, and then you got Albany.
All at home.
So four in a row there.
4 in a row.
And then you travel, and like we said, the Banditland travels well. I don't know if they'll make it all the way to Mississauga, but then it's Buffalo and Toronto on Valentine's Day.
No love lost.
There you go. See, look at this. That's fantastic.
Like we know what we're doing. Hey, cheers, buddy.
Yeah. All right. Cheers. Good luck. Looking forward to this. It's going to be a great game.
Me too, man.
See you next week.
Bye.